Thanks for tuning in to You Are the Magic Pill. Do you often wish that you could just pop a magic pill that would change your life instantly, giving you everything that your heart desires? The truth is, you don't need one, because get this, you are the magic pill. I'm your host, Victoria, and during this podcast, I will be giving you a dose of my truth by keeping it real with inspiring stories and wisdom. My mission is to show you how to fall in love with yourself so that you can discover your own truth. If you're ready to realize that you are the magic pill, then come on a heroic journey with me to remember who you truly are, to activate that power found within. Hi, and welcome back to You Are the Magic Pill. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I wanted to talk to you about something that I've touched on in a couple of episodes, but I wanted to get a little bit more into detail on this episode because June, you may not know this, but June is Vitiligo Awareness Month. And since I have vitiligo right now in this current reality, then I want to be an advocate for that and bring some awareness to what it is and how it affects people and things like that. So I made a post a couple of days ago and my friend took some really adorable pictures. Her name is Allie. And if you want some adorable pictures, message me on youarethemagicpill.com and I will give you her contact because they turned out great. And I'm not like that easy to take pictures of because I'm not like I don't even know what you call it. People say I'm photogenic, but honestly, if you look at some of the pictures, I make all kinds of goofy faces. And so she was really able to capture the moment. So I was really happy about that. Anyway, so what I wanted to share with you is that vitiligo only affects like 1% of humanity, which is a very small percentage, but it's actually getting a little bit, not mainstream, but I know like Target, one day I went in there looking for some things and they had an ad with one of the models had vitiligo. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then Winnie Harlow is a Victoria's Secret model and she has, I think, like 8 million followers. And because her skin is darker, then it is a really huge contrast. So when I get tan in the summer, it's a huge contrast too. So it affects people that have more of a contrast. It affects their mental health and it gives them more anxiety and stress because it's very noticeable. So I'm happy that it is becoming a little bit more, I guess, more talked about because it can maybe help people to not have to suffer so much from it and then to shift perception about that we're all different and we're all made in the image of God and we're all unique in our own special ways. And we all tend to, not all, I mean, there are some people that are not in the same spot anymore, but many of us, and you might struggle with something. It could be one thing that you focus on. And for me, it was the main thing that I focused on for majority of my adult life, for sure. Teenage life, some too. It got worse over time. It is something that can spread. But I do believe that our mindset and elevation and vibration and really focusing on the healing, I do believe we can heal our bodies because that's all about the placebo effect, right? I'm going to talk more about that on another episode, but I'm going to do that with my body. So I'm going to claim that right now. So one day I'm going to make an episode where I'm actually have healed my vitiligo because you know what? I love it. I'm so thankful for it now. It used to cause me so much anxiety and stress. And you might have something that you're focused on that you think is so wrong with you and you're losing what's so right when you do that. And so it's my hope in sharing this message with you that whatever you might be focusing on that you don't like or you wish was different or, you know, you compare it to somebody else. Because I used to look at my skin and just be like, why can't I just be normal? Like, why can't I be normal? Why can't I just have normal skin where I could just wear shorts and not have to wear spray tan all the time and, you know, cover it up? I never felt comfortable. And well, last year is the first time I ever posted about vitiligo on my Facebook page. And I got professional pictures taken with my friend John King at that time. And it was really cool to do because I just owned it. I don't think about it anymore. I actually wear shorts all the time. I lay out, I get tan, so I have more contrast, like I said. So it's very visible. And right before my friend Shay died, it was about, I think it'll be 2 years this summer, I was struggling the week that she died. And
I'm talking like just crying. I'm crying in front of my daughters, crying in front of anyone. I had a rep job at that time, and I would go to my accounts and I would just start crying. It just took over me. It took over my whole body. It took over my whole mind, where I couldn't help it anymore. I just had to release it. I had to cry. And then when Shay died unexpectedly on that Friday morning, I just was like, okay, I got to let this go. And it just naturally kind of happened, because it was like, it didn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't matter anymore, because I mean, I have a life, I have a beautiful life. And, you know, that impacted me in such a strong way that it just left me. So the day she left me, it left me, the vitiligo, the stress and the anxiety and the hatred and the disgust and the sadness. It just left. And from that moment on, I've just embraced it and am thankful for it now, because I can help other people realize that sometimes we get lost in our minds and we think that something is so terrible, and it's really not. It's really not. And you know what's really cool? I recently started dating again, and on my Bumble account and Hinge account, I actually have pictures. And on my You Are the Magic Pill, you know, if you look at the cover, I'm showing my legs and I have vitiligo all over them. And it's really bad on my feet now, but I'm okay with it. It's so not a problem anymore. But on my dating accounts, my pictures, I have several pictures on there where you can visibly see it. And I never did that before. Oh my God, like never. There's no way I would have done that before. I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to. I would have a spray tan when I went on a date. I would wear pants or spray tan and just hope that they didn't notice it. I was just really embarrassed about it and just felt so insecure. But now it's so cool. I just want to tell you, if you have something that you're struggling with, just realize that once you really focus on the other parts of you that you do love, then that's going to outweigh that. And then you're going to change your perception on whatever it is, and you're going to fall in love with that part of you too. I really do think that that can happen for you if you just take the daily discipline and practice and be consistent with thinking and praising and loving yourself about all the good things. You know, focus on all the good things that you love. And like I said before, if you can't think of any, try real hard. There's a lot of beautiful things about you. Just find one at least. Find one a day, one a week, whatever you can do. Just try to find that one. The one thing is, got to take that first step. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you. But I posted on there, and it's so freeing. Like, it's so freeing. I'm just my authentic self now, and I don't have to hide. I don't have to worry if they're going to not like me when they find out that I have it. I mean, I know that sometimes people say, oh, you know, you look beautiful, you look great, but you know how that is. Like, if you're not actually feeling it, then it doesn't matter. They can say that 1,000 times over. And if you don't really see that beauty and you don't really see it, then you're never going to really accept that. It is really kind of people to say that. And you definitely should, you know, let people know that you do think it's okay, but also to remember to have compassion on them if they're still struggling with it, because they're not seeing it just yet. But definitely keep telling them that they're beautiful and all the wonderful things about them. But I know that I made that post the other day, and there was somebody that made a comment that said that it's not that bad at all. And honestly, I don't think it is now. Like, totally owning it, rocking it. You know, I'm totally cool with it, like I said. But there are some people that still really struggle with it. So do have compassion for people that have, you know, any kind of things on their skin or anything that they're struggling with. There's so many things that we compare and look at in our society has an image that we all tend to think the way that we should be, but it's not necessarily the truth. Each of us is the truth. And so that's what I'm here to share with you, is just if you're having some issues or you think that there's something wrong with you, just know that there's so much more right with you. Please focus on that and don't get lost in all that, and try to pull yourself out of it as best you can. Because guess what? You are the magic pill. You're the medicine you seek. You're the cure you seek. Okay, I wanted to tell you real quick about this book. So I thought this was very interesting. It's called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. I wanted to tell you, it's a really cool book. So I looked at vitiligo. It's all about emotions. And if like you trap your emotions in your body, then you manifest things outwardly. And so I wanted to touch on that too, because if you're holding in your emotions, and a lot of times we're like, tell kids or tell people like, oh, stop crying, suck it up. That's just really not a healthy way to be. If someone's sad or if someone, needs to cry, it's just as important as laughing. You know what I mean? Like if you're having a bad day or if a little kid skins their knee, of course that hurts. Like they don't need to suck it up. They need to cry. It freaking hurts. Like a little paper cut hurts, for crying out loud, people. If a child falls or if somebody falls and they need to cry, let them cry already. Like there's no sucking it up that needs to happen, and release it, because your body needs to do that. It's part of the process. And so I think this is really interesting. So vitiligo, it says the feeling completely outside of things, not belonging, not one of the group. Don't you find that interesting? If you've been listening to any of my other episodes, you'll realize that is something that I've struggled with as a child, feeling left out of the group, not belonging, feeling like, I just wasn't a part of it. And how interesting. I think there's definitely a correlation to that. And I also believe that as a child, I was very insecure. So I didn't really have a reason to be insecure, right? But I felt that vibration in my body was insecurity. And so I think I created that on the outward. I gave myself a reason to be insecure. And then because I was feeling that vibration of feeling left out, not belonging, then I also created that outwardly. So if you haven't ever heard of that book, I would go check it out. It's called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Very interesting. I've looked at some stuff in the book for my daughters, some things that they may, deal with outwardly, physically. And it's definitely correlation and alignment with some of their things that they have going on in their thought process. And Grace, my oldest, was like, oh, wow. Yeah, she could totally see it, because everything that I looked up that she had going on outwardly in her body definitely correlated. So anyway, check that book out, and just remember that everything that you feel inside does manifest outwardly. So really guard your thoughts, guard your heart, guard your mind, focus on what you want, try to love all parts of you, and embrace what you can't change, enhance what you can, and just really try to take those steps daily to live a better, happier, more joyful life by loving yourself. And then what's going to happen is when you start doing that, then you're going to start taking more steps in the direction of more confidence. So you're going to just do things differently. Like you're going to walk differently. You're going to talk differently. Like me, I wear different clothes now. I work out. I don't get upset. I don't get fearful and going on dates. I don't think about it anymore. Does that mean I don't think about some other things? No, because I'm not perfect. We're all a work in progress, and you just have to take the things that are coming up as they come up and work on them, and then keep up leveling, but constantly become aware. And the more you become aware, then the stronger, more whole you're going to become. And it's all about just awakening, is that a word? Awakening to the truth of who you really are and the power that really is within each of us, that we can tap into that and change it all. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. And that's what I'm doing. And I hope you are too. It's my hope and prayer that you do see that you do realize that you are beautiful. Like I said, we're all here. We're all in this together. We all have that unconditional love inside of us to give to one another. So that's my message for you today. And just remember, if you see somebody that is struggling with something that they have lack of confidence with, I'm just going to tell you, don't do this. Don't tell them, oh, you're fine. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you've got this. That you shouldn't worry about that. I know your heart is in the right place, but maybe shift it a little bit and just say, oh, however you want to say it, not compassion, but you just kind of love on them, say, oh, I know that you struggle with that, but I just want to really tell you that I think that you're so beautiful, or your heart is so good, or just whatever compliment you want to give them about what is good about them, and that you do see their true worth and beauty. But people just have these feelings, and just because you don't have them, then don't necessarily have to project on them, right? Like just have compassion on them because there's something that you say sometimes that they might have compassion on for you. It's all about us helping one another, right? There's no reason to not. The world would be such a beautiful place if we could just all help one another with our words and be kind and compassionate. Anyway, that's my message for you today. I hope that you're having a good one, and thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.
Thank you for joining me today on You Are the Magic Pill. My hope is that you leave this podcast feeling better about yourself, inspired, activated, and ready to swallow your fears to realize your dreams. I would be honored if you would leave me a 5-star review over in iTunes. Each week I'll randomly choose one person to win some You Are the Magic Pill swag. Make sure you add your name to the review and I'll reach out to you if you're the winner. I really appreciate you spending your time with me today. Be sure to pop over to youarethemagicpill.com for past episodes and more gifts to help you wake up and realize that you are the magic pill and you can change it all to have it all.